Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into some really fascinating sources, trying to unlock, well, some profound insights.
Absolutely. And these aren't your typical sources, are they?
Not at all. They're trying to connect some seemingly very different things. Global economics, personal transformation, even ancient prophecies. It's quite a mix.
It really is. And our mission today, our deep dive, is really to unpack this core idea from the material.
Which is?
The claim that, the salvation of life, of our world systems, was somehow sealed and written between 2011 and 2015.
Right, and then rediscovered in 2022. And that this huge transformation is actually possible now.
Exactly. And they lay out this unique three-step plan.
To transform, as they put it, the old system into a glorious system in the contemporary.
It's this weave of, like, mathematical formulas, economic ideas, spiritual stuff.
All supposedly leading towards well-being and peace. So yeah, expect some surprising connections. Macroeconomics, inner peace, cosmic cycles.
It's a lot to cover.
Let's dig in.
Okay. So the source really starts with this foundational idea. We have to solve the main problem at first.
Meaning? Not just tweaking things.
No, fundamentally changing the main system participle. Basically, the core structure of society.
Making it more livable, justified.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The idea is change that ground structure properly, and other good changes will follow automatically, systematically.
Getting to the root cause.
Exactly. And that root cause, according to this source, involves economics. They bring up the Fisher formula.
M times V equals P times T classic.
Right. Money supply, velocity, price level, trade volume.
So M is the money floating around, V is how fast it moves.
P is average prices, T is how much stuff is actually traded.
Okay, but what's their take on it? That's the interesting part.
Well, their interpretation is key. They argue if production capacity, the T can't grow quickly.
Which it often can't, right? Takes time to build factories, grow food.
Exactly. So if T is limited, then just pumping more money, M, into the system
Doesn't actually boost production.
It just leads to spending inflation, they say, not real growth. Money creation has to match production growth.
So the amount of money needs to equal the amount of goods available.
Yeah.
For balance.
Pretty much. Otherwise, you just create debt sooner or later.
And they have that reminder. Extra production doesn't directly result into more spending power.
Which really challenges typical economic thinking, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Usually you think more production equals more wealth.
But they're suggesting a disconnect there. A miscalculation in the system.
So how do we get that balance right? Do they offer a way?
They do. They introduce another formula, the support base formula.
Okay.
Think of it like managing global resources. It starts with supply and demand. 1 equals D times P divided by BX times OGD.
Oh, okay, break that down.
So D times P is basically supply what we have.
Got it.
And BX times OGD is demand what we need or want.
Right.
From that, they get D equals BX times OGD divided by P.
And D is?
D is the support base. Money, essentially. P is production.
Okay, and BX?
BX is the shopping list. All the necessities for everyone, globally. Individuals, states, the environment.
A total needs assessment.
Yeah. And OG is the trade volume, the transmission of necessities. Kind of like GDP, but focused on needs.
So what's the goal of this formula? It sounds ambitious.
Extremely. They say it's to enlighten the weight of our cares and needs, remove debts, create social well-being, reduce workload.
Oh, by shifting production.
Yes, by producing only necessities, cutting out overproduction. That frees up time, gives money more value.
And that's where they say we can live in wealth in the near future by working together and for each other.
That's the vision. It's quite utopian, like you said.
But before getting to the how, they really hammer home why the current system is failing. They don't hold back.
Not at all. They say debt happens because there's simply less money to create life stability.
So that balance money, goods and services is off.
Completely skewed. Their example, they have 10 euros, buy something for 15, boom, €5 debt. You got the goods without the money.
Simple illustration, but it scales up massively.
And leads directly to the wealth inequality figures they cite from that 2015 clipping.
Right. The 1% owning 48% of financial power. Averaging, what, $2.7 million each?
While the bottom 80%, that's 5.6 billion people, own just 5.5%. Averaging under $4,000 each.
It's staggering when you put it like that.
And the source concludes there's just far too little money in circulation to guarantee quality of life. We end up as the slave of money.
And they link this right back to overproduction, using that Belgium example.
Yeah, the 350 billion euro GDP, but only 28 billion from VAT on sales.
Meaning only about 8% of what's produced is actually taxed via sales for the state's needs.
Right. It's like baking a huge cake, but only getting crumbs for the community pot.
So their point is, we perform too much work in comparison with people's needs.
Like making 10 phones when only 3 are needed. It fuels bankruptcies, doesn't create real productive jobs.
Just churn.
Exactly. And the consequences if we don't change.
Pretty grim, according to the source. Deprivation, violence, more debt, more inequality.
Potential economic collapse from competition and disunity, governments unable to help.
Leading to that chilling conclusion. End of human existence by creating violence and neglecting only because of money.
It's a serious warning.
Okay, so we've painted that grim picture. Debt, inequality, potential collapse. What's the proposed way out?
Well, the source is adamant. No economic problem, but a wrong way of doing trade.
A fundamental flaw in the method, not the concept itself.
Exactly. And here comes their 3-part solution. It gets really interesting now.
Step 1.
Equate the balance. Transform debts into real values.
How does that work? Take something like Belgium's state debt, 350 billion euros.
Which is 100% of their national product.
So just flip it.
Convert it into positive values. Assets, essentially. Money for extra expenses, for projects, creations.
So debt becomes seed capital.
That's the idea. The consequence, they state, is resources have been opened up to give society a boost.
Which allows communities to rebuild, maybe become more self-governing, autonomic.
With more social rights, even freeing up resources to let nature revive. Investing in ecology.
It's turning a negative into a huge positive force.
A complete paradigm shift. That's step 1.
Okay, what's step 2?
Balancing supply and demand dynamically. Using that BX formula again.
The shopping list one.
Right. Map out the actual needs globally. BX per community, worldwide.
How? Like, people order online what they need.
That seems to be the suggestion. Individual orders feed into the collective need. Companies adjust stock accordingly.
Creating a real-time global database of needs.
Essentially, yes. Then that formula, 1 DP BX OG, acts as a gauge.
If the result is greater than 1.
It means overproduction is happening, or rather, there's enough. So you can reduce workload.
Great reserves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even equalize goods globally to cut down on transport, make things more local.
And it also allows for revaluing products based on environmental responsibility.
Yes, factoring in the true cost to nature.
So the goal is less pressure on constantly needing more money, more production.
How less we have to support D in production ways. How enlightened the pressure will be in municipality forms. That's the quote.
Less pressure on communities.
Advocating for a fair trade system with responsible care. And that line, sharing is caring.
Working less, producing only what's needed, more free time, more value for money.
That's the core of step 2.
All right, step 3. This sounds like it ties it all together at the community level.
It does. A municipal nationalization system with security of income.
Okay, unpack that. It starts with transforming those debts into positive work values.
And distributing those values among the municipalities, the local communities.
Giving them resources directly.
Which then funds municipal work projects with citizen participation rights.
So people get involved locally, doing work they actually want to do.
That's the aim. Variation in work's possible and more freedom to do what people likes to do.
And they use that support formula again for a competitive value meter.
Yeah, to enlighten workloads, make work more efficient across different areas.
And this idea about buying up struggling companies, especially essential ones.
Companies in difficulties or bankruptcy buying under state impulse. Energy companies, for instance.
So instead of privatization.
Nationalization, or perhaps municipalization. The revenue generated goes back to the state or municipality.
Which then helps pay the population.
Exactly. Moving away from purely private control of essentials.
And this leads to the security of income part.
Yes. Everyone gets a secure basic wage.
A baseline for everyone.
And then a stair system to earn more. Based on effort, job type, but considering health too.
So it's not just flat UBI, there's still incentive.
Seems so. The goal is motivation, reducing disunity, creating equality where nobody has to have a shortening, no one goes without.
It sounds like a massive safety net, but also a pathway.
And it culminates in this grand vision, one commune.
Being.
It's far more easy to make everything on the same highlight to overwin a lot of disunities, to become equality.
Breaking down barriers between countries. Living as one global community.
That seems to be the ultimate social goal. Less work pressure, more free time, Focus on well-being.
What people would like to receive, retain, and release to get as much rest as possible.
It's a total redesign, economic and social, for unity.
That is a huge societal shift, transforming the entire global economy.
Massive. But the source argues this macro change can't happen alone.
It needs a micro-level change, too. Personal transformation.
Exactly. They have to mirror each other. And interestingly, the source suggests many people are already feeling the early signs of this.
These transformation symptoms they talk about.
Yeah.
Often without a medical cause.
Yes. And they list quite a few, physically. Fatigue, aches and pains, head, neck, back. They even link it to potential DNA changes.
Wow. Well,
Muscle cramps, sweating more, flu-like feelings, digestive issues like diarrhea, fevers, hot flashes.
sounds rough. What's the explanation given?
Purification, removing blockages. Also tinnitus, ear pressure, trouble concentrating, linked to brain frequency changes.
And sleep.
Big changes there. Intense dreams, seen as releasing old energies.
Okay, so that's the physical. What about emotionally?
They mention unreasoned grief, like mourning old patterns.
A sense of loss for the old self.
Perhaps. Also loneliness, feeling isolated on this path as relationships change.
And even homesickness.
Yeah, a longing for source, for home, remembering a place of unity, love, no judgment.
That's quite profound. And mentally or spiritually.
Confusion is one feeling caught between two dimensions.
Like being in transition.
But also heightened consciousness, increased intuition, developing clear gifts, clairvoyance, claircognizance, knowing things without knowing how.
Interesting. And talking to self.
They list that too, but explain it as thinking becoming more non-judgmental, more loving, more unified, recognizing we all come from the same source.
So it's an inner dialogue shift.
And all this impacts life outwardly too, right?
Definitely. Drastic changes in work, relationships, friendships.
Letting go of connections that hinder soul growth.
And forming new ones that are more soul-nourishing. It's a total life realignment.
And central to navigating all this, the source points to the ego.
Defining it as our untrue self.
Right. The collection of labels we attach to ourselves, who we think we are, what we think we have or know.
It's something we have, not who we are.
Exactly. An incorrect perception, often inflated, needing validation from others.
Fueled by I want more.
Those are the hallmarks.
So if it's this fundamental untrue self, how do we even start to deal with it? How do we recognize it?
The source says it starts with observation, just noticing it.
Noticing the thoughts, the emotions, the behavior.
Yes. When you observe the ego, you realize the observer can't be the ego.
It creates distance, detachment.
Which the source literally calls enlightenment, stepping back and seeing it for what it is.
Powerful concept. But the ego probably doesn't like being observed.
Definitely not. The source says the main reason the ego appears is non-acceptance.
Non-acceptance of what is.
Exactly. Which manifests as resistance, and that resistance what keeps the ego alive.
Examples being anger, complaining, sadness.
Loneliness, frustration when things don't go your way, anything pushing against the present moment.
So the path forward is acceptance.
Giving up the resistance, accepting the here and now.
That conscious being in the now holds the power.
That's what they claim. The power that lies hidden in the here and now.
And they say peace often means the end of the ego.
But the ego will fight that, fearing loss.
But the insight is, you can't lose what you aren't. At most, the illusions you had.
It's about shedding illusions, not losing your true self.
Okay, this brings us to maybe the most unique part of the material.
The Revelation script section, yeah. It's quite a blend.
Spiritual prophecy, astronomy, history, all woven together.
With the core message, God, his word is coming true, but as well, nature calls emergency to change the way we live.
A dual call to action, spiritual and ecological.
So they point to these prophetic cycles first, from the book of Daniel.
The 1,335 days, 2011-2014, and the 2,300 days, 2011-2017.
And then that really detailed Maya calendar calculation.
Starting August 11, 3114 BC, using 13 times 394.3 years.
Which lands on April 25, 2011, Easter Monday.
The resurrection, symbolizing a new cyclus, a totally new discovery way.
A cosmic reset point, tied to both ancient calendars and Christian symbolism.
And they bring in the number 144,000 from the Bible.
Connecting it to 12 life foundations and cycles of 12 times 144,000 days.
Which they say get shorter over time. through different ages.
Writings, industrial, IT, and now transformation. Each cycle shorter, leading to an absolute awareness point.
It's intricate, and they claim astronomical events lined up with this.
They list specific sky signs. Comet Elenin, September 2011.
With Virgo clothed with the sun, moon, and comet making a 12-star wreath.
That's the description. Then Comet YU-55 passing close in November 2011.
And that interpretation of its name, YU Satan. That's quite specific.
It is. The source presents it as part of this unfolding celestial narrative.
Okay, what else?
The Venus transit, June 2012, exactly 260 days after Elenin. The blood red moon eclipse, October 2014, which was 1,260 days after that Easter 2011 date.
The numbers seem important here.
Very. They also mention another eclipse in 2012 looking like a bit of a horse, and Easter 2015.
And the conclusion is, these all match up with.
Descriptions and numbers correspond in sequence in the Revelation story.
So connecting real astronomical events to the Book of Revelation.
Right. And they touch on key themes from Revelation 1:22.
Messages to the churches, the 7 seals being opened.
The 4 horsemen, conqueror, war, famine, death. The trumpets, the beasts, 666.
The fall of Babylon.
And then the positive vision, the new heaven and new earth, the new Jerusalem.
With its specific measurements, 12,000 stadia long, 144 cubits thick wall.
And the river of the water of life.
But their interpretation of apocalypse isn't doom and gloom.
No, they see it as a collective way to choose to change, transform.
Turning nowadays situations in better days. A choice.
Leading to redemption for us all as individuals, finding God in yourself.
An inner, heaven spiritual, enlightened feeling.
So it's about awakening, starting fresh, with a blanco page.
Through forgiveness, reconnecting with the earth, believing better days are on its way.
It reframes Revelation as a blueprint for positive transformation, not just destruction.
So bringing all these threads together now, the economic changes, the personal shifts, the spiritual interpretations, how do they connect it all into one grand vision?
They see them as completely interconnected. You can't have one without the others. It's holistic.
And the message is ultimately hopeful. It is never too late to create peace together. It is possible.
That's a core statement. And connection is key. If we connect as one, we save our planet.
Starting with interconnection, forgiveness.
Yes, forgive yourself is the first way to restart, to find eternal happiness.
And forgiving manipulations actually frees up resources. How does that work?
By reducing the support of our concerns. Letting go of grievances frees up energy, perhaps mental and emotional capital that can be used constructively.
Interesting link. Inner state affects outer resources.
And peace itself is seen as a choice. Peace is possible if one allows and or open for it, and light the darkness always wins.
They also link peace directly back to the economic solutions, don't they?
Absolutely. If one has no shortage, one will not leave soon surprise by powers that people turn to commit violence.
Meet people's basic needs, and a major driver of conflict disappears.
Makes sense. And they even have that solution poetry section.
Right. If you're lowering the economic activity, CO2 reduce itself, linking less frantic production to environmental healing.
Envisioning a future where machines do more work, creating freedom and security.
Allowing us to focus on healing nature, cleaning up our mess.
And challenging consumerism. Why should we like to have things twice? Divide and exchange.
A call for simplicity, sharing, sufficiency.
And then it gets even more philosophical, talking about the art of life and eternity.
The transition into light, becoming a starlight.
Arguing that science and technology can't replicate this inner, philosophic, wonderful feeling like ionic waterfalls within a human body.
It's quite poetic. It really is. Concluding with, God will be joining you in spirit. Be connected as immoral blessings, witnessing Zien.
The ultimate promise being an inner light that shines forever, leading to heaven on earth.
That seems to be the culmination of their vision.
So quite a journey we've taken. From detailed economic formulas and critiques of global finance,
to symptoms of personal transformation and shedding the ego,
all the way to interpretations of ancient prophecies, astronomical signs, and a vision for planetary peace and unity.
It's a really bold synthesis, trying to weave everything together into a path forward, reimagining how we live, work, relate to each other, and the planet.
A complete overhaul based on these interconnected principles.
And the source offers this final thought. Everything what dies will born again. It's a natural system, what you cannot see, but it seems real.
So final thought for you, the listener. What might it mean for your life to embrace this cycle of transformation, this idea of death and rebirth, even in the smallest moments of everyday change?